What's good, everybody? Happy 2XKO time. I hope your day is going well. As ever, we're talking about self-improvement and getting better in fighting games and progressing and all that good stuff. And as ever, we're talking about my little baby boy. So pretty recently, Brandon was telling me that he ranked up. I think he's back in Platinum now. Happy for him. I'm glad he made it back to where he was. I'm kind of slowly getting back to where I was as well. I was in Grandmaster at the end of the beta, but I've kind of been playing a bunch of other stuff too. I've been playing like regular people games. I know, not just fighting games. And I asked Brandon to make sure that he's been thinking thoughtfully about his gameplay or his game plan, his offense, whatever it may be. And he asked me, like, what do I mean by that exactly? Like, what does that mean? And in like the most basic of fashion, it really just means like thinking about what you're weak in, as far as like and that could be like really anything. It could be like your combo game is kind of whack. It could be that you're having troubles on defense or answering things on defensive situations. Maybe your offensive sequencing is too basic or too predictable or whatever it may be. Maybe like you have like a really poor idea of what to do in neutral. It could be a number of things. It's just wherever you yourself think you're struggling or where someone has assessed that you're struggling. And I was telling them too is like, you know, like just think about like what the best, most effective use of like your basic tools are, or what they might be for, or what some alternative uses are for. And he roughly said he was just like, yeah, I kind of like do that passively. And I said back, it's like, well, we all do, you know. You normally, especially if you're learning a game, you do think about these things to some degree, but you know, maybe there's some creative solutions to answers that you haven't figured out yet that like you could use the rest of your kit for. Or maybe you've been using your kit or tools one way, but you could start thinking about them in an alternative way, or they might answer different questions or whatnot. But how do you actually assess what you need to work on? And it's the age old, right? It's looking at your matches, seeing where you fucked up and like how you can improve and like what situations come up that need to be answered or worked on. So I told Brandon I was going to be making a video about this very topic, and we should watch some of his matches. The team he's been exclusively playing as of lately has been Warwick Teemo, so that's going to be a little bit harder for me to answer these questions that come up because I only play Warwick a little bit. I haven't really touched Teemo really at all. What I'll do is, this is the last set that he played, but they ended in a loss, which is actually perfect. You're going to learn a lot more from your losses than you do your wins. Yeah, and naturally, like, replays are the best way to get like an objective viewpoint of your gameplay. I'm really bad about watching my own replays. Okay, immediately attacks in Warwick. Not bad. So I'm not opposed to that because like obviously Jinx is in right now. You are thinking like, this Jinx might be pesky. I'm going to do the thing that gets past projectiles, which is Warwick's neutral S1. In the zoning matchup between Teemo and Jinx, I do think Jinx wins, even though Teemo's a better character, ? So I don't disagree with the tag. But you immediately get push blocked. And then if you want your pressure to continue after the fact, just, you know, do your neutral S1 and then go into assist. Okay, but you do get the win here. You do know you're safe after your neutral S1. Get clipped. Okay. Just these stray... Okay, nice use of the big normals. And converts. Nice. S1 super. Or I guess this is S2 super, technically. DHC. I don't necessarily agree with the DHC there, because you started with like the correct matchup and then you tagged onto it. But Teemo does get a little bit of a boost by, here, I'll show it off. Teemo does get a little bit of a boost by his super going into the darts, filling out his dart bar a little bit more, so I don't entirely disagree with it, but you had the better matchup off rip. Or, you know, making use of active tag as well, you know, a very powerful thing that you can improve on right away. And it's not like you're doing anything bad here, but a layer beyond this is like, before you call Warwick super, call your assist, go into super, and then active tag out into Teemo to set up, whether that be shrooms or, you know, your darts or slingshot or whatever it may be. It's very powerful. Night. Oh, unfortunate. Doesn't get to the conversion here. Okay. Next thing too is just pay attention to what your opponent's doing, because sometimes if they autopilot the same strings over and over again, you know what I just talked about is you could fish for parry as well, which is something I need to get better at. Nice, but you do get the kill on the drinks. That's huge. Blitz is in. You can kind of just zone the crap out of them. And man, use your assists. Definitely use your assists. If your opponent's pulling up on you, you're a zoner. Use your assist to keep them out. Push block though. Sure. Hot stuff inbound. Got the slingshot. Oh, he's playing Call of Duty right now. Yeah, zone the fuck out of him. And then just, you know, Blitz is going to try to approach you. Just use the Warwick assist preemptively. You haven't used too much assists, so that's something you can immediately improve at. But you kind of just zone the fuck out of him. That's huge. We are learning a good bit from this game, though. Immediate S1's, S2 super, not as interesting. Oh, that was a good little float there. 2x assists, he kind of just got unlucky in that situation. Active tagging to Warwick. You were kind of better off in the Teemo matchup here. Because Blitz obviously wants to be a lot closer to you than Warwick does. So honestly, keeping Teemo in versus Blitzcrank is better for you. Just thinking about your matchups, how you want to play the neutral as well. S2 super, take him to the corner, into Teemo. This is a much better situation for you. Okay, dash is under. Push block, you're totally safe. You're totally fine with getting push block too. That's actually perfectly fine. Okay. I like the idea from the Blitz player. Just be... You're getting very fortunate that your opponent does not know how to fucking walk at you or jump at you. But really just be ready with that Warwick assist. Like, that's a perfectly good time to take the air approach. You jump, you charge your hot stuff or whatever, and then as your opponent approach, do a back assist with Warwick. So you can be, and that could be both ways. You could be on the ground and be doing that, or you can be in the air and doing that. Big air to air there. Warwick versus Jinx, we like this a little bit more. You were setting up some stuff with your mushrooms and whatnot. I did like that at the moment. But now it seems like you're kind of autopiloting your neutral. You're not really thinking about really anything. You kind of just tunnel vision on the S1 to charge your opponent down because you're like, I gotta get in there. You don't have any real way to like cover yourself in the interim, especially full screen. It's nice when your opponent is already throwing stuff out. That's totally one thing. This is slow enough and reactable enough where your opponent can totally be ready for it. And no anti-air. How the fuck do you win this one, buddy? Oh yeah, they right. They just took a round. For some reason, I thought they were up. Okay, jump back. Yeah, so they did this at the start of the last round. Just try to keep that in mind. Whenever your opponent just does like some random shit and wants to give you information, just keep that in mind. That's how you like learn to combat predictability. Like, humans are creatures of habit. So if they do something once and it succeeds, they'll probably try to do it again. Hot stuff. I need to see that Warwick, man. I need to see that Warwick come out. Uses assist. Nice. Oh, gets out of the corner. Very huge. Hot stuff inbound. Call that Warwick. Even at all, please. Invisible. There, in your position right here, there is absolutely, like, you know, do what you want. It's fine. But there's no need to really go in. You have such a strong lead right now. Your best position is just to throw projectiles at your opponent safely. Your opponent is showing that they can't really deal with it. There's not really a need to risk your health bar. Okay, tags out. This is no longer a favorable matchup for you. But I assume your opponent doesn't know how to fight this well, so you might be okay. Getting little hits. Was there a need to burst that. I can understand the danger sense of wanting to preserve your character's health bar, but there wasn't too much of a need at this point to burst that. And then if you're gonna burst to save your character, just tag your dude out. Oh, nice jump out of the active tag. Unfortunately, gets a pickup here. I repeat, how the wow, the level 3. I was gonna say, how do you win this? Okay, Blitz is dead. You do have a health lead now. You're out of the bar with Teemo. At this point, well, it doesn't matter anyways, but it's okay to kind of let Teemo die, because then you have access to super assist. You're not really gonna have a choice. Never mind. Active tag right away, or immediate tag, hard tag. Okay, push block. Ah, that's unfortunate. That should not have worked. You were not plus there. I think your opponent just maybe hit the wrong button. I don't think you're plus. Into level 3, insane. Insane that this is even working at all. Fury. Yeah, I mean, they kind of had to pop it, realistically. So, if you're gonna... So, these are good neutral skips. Like, as far as just getting across the screen purely. Like, the light follow-up is, like, a really solid neutral skip. A really good angle as well. I mean, you have assists available. Just cover it with assists. That's a big way... That was really close. Just the timing on it was just a little off. Okay, they missed the super. Overhead, converts. With Warwick, you can keep things pretty safe for the most part, especially if you end in neutral S1, your overhead attack. I think you're only -5, so you're not even punishable. And then maybe with a certain amount of pushback, there's like no way you can be punished. If you're too predictable, obviously you can get parried. Your opponent didn't represent things like parry. But if you're gonna skip neutral and you want to keep it your turn, you might as well get something out of it. Use your assist. You started to do it right at the tail end there, and I'm hoping this evolves in the next game. I agree with what you did earlier about immediately switching into Warwick. That's actually a much better matchup. And that's another thing too, is just thinking about like what characters are more beneficial for whatever character's on screen at any given time. Maybe you're more confident in your Teemo though, that's a possibility as well. Okay, you get the upgrade on your slingshot. Your opponent's also putting stuff on the screen. They didn't really do a good job of it, but they just kind of walked in for free. And once again, you know, going back to use your Warwick anti-air assist. If your opponent's going to pull up on you, you might as well represent some kind of threat. Nice neutral jump out. That was good. Immediately got the burst. That's huge. Tags in. Kind of an unfortunate happy birthday immediate tag back. Switch and you do win this matchup, but you should look to recover some health. Oh, and then an unfortunate conversion here. Oh, man. You should be dead. Okay, pop off. Nice conversion. You were able to stabilize that combo. That was good. That was good. Now I'm wondering how you lose this. Well, you could win this round, though. See, now, like, your opponent's picking up on that you don't want to, like, walk at him. Just because you have movement tools doesn't mean you need to use them all the time. Warwick's got some pretty good beefy normals that he can make use of. Or you could do some of your alternative follow-ups as a fake out, so that way you don't get anti-aired there. Okay, pressure. Teemo gets picked. You're safe. Block low. That harbingers back to the old lesson. Just block low. And you're skipping neutral, my friend. Play a little neutral. I can definitely see how you lost this one. Kind of getting... Oh my god. Yeah, not much to do about that one. So this round, it kind of like reinforces everything that was going on in the game before, where it's... If you're going to skip neutral, you need to keep your approach options tight or safe. It's totally fine to just walk at your opponent. Another thing too, so like using Warwick's down S1, his leap, his hooligan, whatever, his demon flip, whatever you want to call it. If they're getting a good read on what you want to do, and every time you demon flip, you do some approach option, mix up your approach options. So like the light follow up has like a 45-degree angle and you're approaching with that way. But if they know you're going to demon flip every time and try to attack them every time, yeah, they're going to anti-air you. So what you could do is like do demon flip, but do a follow-up that won't connect. It'll make their anti-air whiff, you know, change up your approach routing thoughts or whatever it may be. And then, yeah, just if they do block, you call an assist so you can keep your pressure going. Yep, that round start, that's happened multiple times where they started the round. They're reading your jump back. You jump back every time because it feels good to throw safe slingshots. And you've gotten hit every time, so they won't switch up. Okay, big mushroom, the scoop, sure. This is interesting. You called mushroom. Mushroom helps you play neutral and helps you walk down your opponent. If you're gonna call mushroom, especially on the first time through, just safely walk behind mushroom. There's not really a need to get in front of it. Just have it play the neutral for you, where you know you can just kind of hide safely behind it. But unfortunately, you get punished for this. Hard knockdown burst. That was the end of that combo. You didn't need a burst there because they double down kick twice. They got a hard down. Okay, skipping the neutral. Got the medium follow-up. Actually got the hit there. Not able to convert, unfortunately. I'm not going to judge. Oh, not bad. Not bad. You kind of slightly switched up what you did. You started with the neutral S1, went into the leap cancel. I don't know if that's just jump or... Oh, nice use of the mushroom. You get the burst too. You can't really... You have shown, especially as Warwick, that you have two ideas in neutral. You are either neutral S1ing or down S1ing. It's totally fine to walk at your opponent, even just regular jumping at your opponent, because you can block and jump. Like when you approach, if you see it's like, they're not going to block this, you fucking jump in with the button. But you can jump and block and call an assist as well. But you're just relying on special move neutral. And the special move neutral in question doesn't even get you a whole bunch. You're going to down S1. You are plus. I don't know if you did the wrong button there. But you are +2. Okay, punish here. This was a good opportunity to get a little bit more damage on Blitzcrank, so you would have done a more traditional combo. This is fine. I won't harp on combo routing too much. I will harp on it if you can get the kill, though. Not quite. Okay. So really good position to be is here. So you don't know that they're going to tag out. That's fine. You can react to the tag out, but it's this positioning question. Thinking about your character's archetypes here, your character is the zoner. Your opponent's character is the approaching character, aka the grappler. Obviously, they have scary tools like hook and whatnot, but this position that you're in right now is so good for the fact that you can control space so well, where if you want to hold the ground approach, that's fine, and just be reactive. You can play very reactive in this position. You do not have an assist, so I can't be like, just call Warwick anti-air assist and just play on the ground. But you can play reactive. You jump back. He gets the air-to-air here, and then it's his turn. Obviously, you know that. You've played Blitz before. Gets the kill on your... okay, he dropped it. You can just zone the fuck out of him. It's okay if Teemo dies because you kind of want the super assist, but you need to know that he's going to approach here. While throwing out projectiles is good and annoying and pesky and stuff, you got to do more than just throw projectiles. Like, you're not converting for a whole bunch. And once again, you're just trying to ignore neutral with Warwick, which is giving you free damage. It's getting you hit by free damage, I should say. The only things that Warwick does off of his S1 or down S1, they can all be anti-aired. So, and that's exclusively what you've been doing, which is why, yeah, he's just... Rose just got the 2H. You have you do have access to super assist, But now you're in a losing matchup where Jinx has better projectiles than you do. And then, yeah, she's just going to wait for you to do something. Do angled S1, and that's game. That makes a lot of sense. Your opponent's actually adapting to your gameplay very well. All right, the final game. I have an inkling of probably exactly everything that's going to happen. Once again, I do like the Warwick idea that you had in the first game. Warwick's kit should theoretically counter Jinx's just because of his like anti-projectile stuff. Massive 2H there. Gonna get a nice little conversion. Unfortunate drop on the combo. That's fine. Okay, actual use of assist. It was a terrible time, but you used it at all, and that's fine by me. I'm actually... Did your opponent... If they didn't start with... I need to see the start of this match. Immediate S1. They did not. That would have beat you again, I think. Okay. I don't disagree with this approach. But you didn't do anything with it, though. Okay. I like that little sweep that you used there. Got the upgrade on the slingshot. I don't know. You do have the life advantage. Oh, you get hit with a stray. Push block. Nice jump back. Burst. There wasn't really a reason to burst there. Okay, wrong super from them. That's fine. Okay, this is actually a advantageous position for you. Wow. These fucking level 3s are actually insane. Obviously, you found out not the position to hard tag there. Or like the timing on it. At the very least. Maybe in this knockdown, we consider doing Teemo's parachute jump. This is what I mean by thinking about like your offensive situations. In my brain, I don't know how to play Teemo. I'm just putting it out there. In my brain, I would go for something like a parachute jump over my opponent, and while I'm in the air and I'm about to cross up, call Warwick assist. And then if it hits, convert into a combo. If it blocks, maybe even convert into a combo, but you might get pressure after that. You might be able to start some projectiles. But you hard tag, you got hit. Unfortunate situation. Okay. I'm very much predicting that you are going to neutral S1 and or down S1. Kind of. You did air S1. And once again, while it's safe, S1 is not bad because you know that you're supposed to block. But, you know, maybe try mixing in down S1 and block strings potentially. Or if you also want to try this, you can do neutral S2, but you can do one tick of it, and that's safe. That's -2. Multiple ticks might be safe if they're pushed out enough. I'm not sure. I don't really remember. Block low for the love of God, please. We still haven't learned this lesson in your platinum. I like that you tried to parry, though. Wrong timing. I can't really harp on that, but you tried. I'll give it to you. And then you kind of just got antsy because you got hit by the grab. Not much to really do about that. Unfortunate. Teemo's in. You do have access to super assist. Super assist is pretty good for you. Even though it's very slow with Warwick. Obviously, you don't have it right yet. But the amount of time it's actually active is pretty good. You could do things like set up mushrooms or stuff like that. Like, these are all things that you want to be thinking about as you are playing. Or as you're thinking about your team. Okay. You got in on. I assume you're going to push block. Neutral jump. Oh, nice. You blocked it out. Got the burst. Okay. That was... it doesn't matter. You're going to lose anyways at a time, one way or another. Oh, wow. And that's another thing. You need to pay attention to time. I can't believe what's happening right now. I would be amazed if you get this win somehow. But time's out. You get unfortunate on that round. Okay. You did a different round start. I'll give it to you. Your opponent tried to read the usual. Wow, just run up throw. Run up from the fucking 3-point line and throw. That was insane, actually. Nice, hot stuff. I kind of like this a little bit. Like, you're just putting stuff on screen for your opponent to approach into, and they are approaching at you. Just no anti-airs. Burst, I don't disagree. And then the thing I do disagree with is just why are you approaching in this matchup? The biggest, like, one of the biggest takeaways is to play the matchup. You're fighting as a grappler, you're a zoner, zone him. Not really need to go in. But now you have a life deficit, so now this would be the time to think about going in. Jumps back. You should honestly probably think about tagging into Warwick at this point, recover some of your gray life. And you're slowing the gameplay down when you actually need to speed it up, unfortunately. This might be the time where I would consider something like, if I'm going to approach, let's say, I will run up, call Warwick assist, do super, your dart super, and then tag into Warwick to start your pressure. So that way they have to hold it. The meta for Teemo is to use super assist, super active tag. You're gonna chipped out, and you're dead. Unfortunate. Warwick, I assume, as we've seen prior, if patterns repeat themselves, your neutral with Warwick is going to be S1 or down S1. I rest my case. At least in that position, like I was saying previously, if you're going to demon flip from this point, from full screen, and you want to throw them off, do medium follow up. I know it doesn't get you in, but they've read your demon flip every time, and it's so slow and very reactable. They know you want to hit them. Do medium, so it drops you down. They whiff their assist, or they whiff their anti-air, excuse me, and you don't get hit for a full combo. Dart assist with Teemo. That was kind of better. That was kind of better. Maximum Spider. I don't think this kills. It doesn't quite kill. You can still chip out. Okay. Super. Punish. You got their burst. Unfortunately, you just mistimed the S1, because I think that would have passed through. Demon flip, you get aired. If you're full screen and you want to get in on a zoner, you auto default to demon flip. You're going to get chipped out. Yeah. Okay, so let's kind of regroup here and maybe discuss some basic ideas that we can afford to kind of get better at. First off, with Teemo, I can't say too much with Teemo because I obviously don't play Teemo. I don't know what this motherfucker does. I know he zones you. That's kind of the extent of it. But what I would say is just play the matchup. If you're fighting someone like Darius or Alawi or Blitzcrank or whoever it may be, your goal is to keep them out, right? Your goal is to be the zoner, be pesky, be annoying, put stuff on screen, set up your mushrooms, set up your fucking shit. The only one that's going to try to contest you as far as zoning is going to be a character like Jinx, so that would be your time to switch into something like Warwick. But your goal as Teemo is just to set up stuff on screen, be annoying, set up projectiles, set up traps, interfere with them approaching you, and then making use of your assist, where if you're covering the ground, use anti-air assist to cover your ass in the air. So that's something to think about. Obviously, you're zoning, they want to approach you. You can anticipate that they're going to approach, whether that be on the ground or in the air, and you can, guess what? You can cover both. You can do that. With a character like Ahri, though, she is someone that can clear your shit, I believe, with super. So that's something to think about. So just understand what character you're facing and what character might be the most beneficial to have in at the time. So the biggest thing in the meta right now is to do some type of block string into assist, do your dart assist, and then tag out. So that way you can hold them down, keep your pressure going, really get your mix on, and so on and so forth, and potentially try to open your opponent up. Super, like dart super into active tag is so good. If you could get used to that, that's fucking awesome. With Warwick, you really struggled in neutral to do anything outside of S1 or down S1. You really didn't do anything outside of that, and that's why you're getting anti-aired so much. So alternatively, if you're gonna do things like that to skip the neutral, just do like a fake out, where like, okay, they recognize I'm approaching with L follow up from my demon flip. So what I'll do is just do no follow up, or I'll do M follow up and stop myself short. And then when you did get in, you kind of just defaulted to your typical S1 follow up, which is fine. It's actually -6. So I think that should be jab punishable theoretically. But you could start off like that and that's perfectly fine. But do things like call dart assist and try to mix it up your pressure in that way, or keep your pressure going. You just ended up defaulting to this and didn't really do anything after the fact, so that gave up your turn. Let your opponents play the game instead. You know, mix in some lows in there as well. That's an option that you have as well. And immediately where my brain is going is doing something like demon flip, side switch, and then active tag right after. And while Warwick has like good, you know, special movement, man, don't be afraid to use that basic movement, like walking back and forth. Warwick has really good mediums to make use of, like these massive hitboxes that go quite a ways. And then his down forward H as well, a really good low. It also depends on like what you want out of the game. Because if all you want is just like, hey, I just want to go online and hit buttons and have a good time, I don't really care about winning, you can literally disregard everything I just said. If you want to incorporate all that stuff, that's perfectly fine. But if your goal is just to hit buttons, your improvement doesn't really matter that much. Or if your goal is like, oh, I want to beat up my little cousin this Christmas because he's a real bitch, like that's whatever. But it's like, oh, I want to go enter a tournament. Even then, like, you don't have to improve that much just to enter. It's like, oh, okay, I want to enter a tournament and then win at least one game. Then you have to start thinking about these things a little bit more. Or if it's like, my desire is to win this tournament, I'm gonna cook everybody. It all depends on how actually serious you want to take the game. Yeah, and then just last little snip is, if you're doing something repeatedly and your opponent's picking up on it and punishing it, you gotta switch it up. But that is my time. I hope you guys found this valuable or interesting or helpful in any capacity. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.